Most people think a dog growls because it's scared, reactive, or just being difficult. But sometimes your dog is reacting to something you can't see yet. Science shows dogs can pick up on tension, unreliable behavior, hidden stress, and body language that doesn't match the smile on someone's face. So if your dog suddenly dislikes a person who seems perfectly nice, don't dismiss it too fast. In this video, I'm breaking down 8 science-backed reasons your dog may recognize a bad person before you do. 1. Dogs catch the mismatch between words and body language immediately. This is one of the biggest reasons a person can look completely normal to you and still make your dog uneasy. Someone says hello in a friendly voice, but their shoulders are tight, their stance is aggressive, and their movements are jerky. Your dog picks up on that mismatch immediately. If the body language doesn't match the voice, your dog sees a red flag. A person can smile and still move like a threat. They can sound polite while their posture says something else entirely. Stiffness, sudden movements, hands hidden too long, moving too quietly, walking in an unnatural way, staring too hard, or avoiding eye contact at the wrong moments. Humans often miss those inconsistencies. Dogs usually don't. And this skill is not random. Dogs rely on posture to stay safe around other dogs, so they are built to read tension fast. They use that same instinct with people. That's why when your dog barks at someone who is doing nothing, it may not be doing nothing at all to your dog. That person's body could be screaming danger. 2. Dogs read your emotions before you even admit them to yourself. Sometimes the dog is not reacting to the stranger first. Sometimes the dog is reacting to you. You might be trying to act normal around someone while your body quietly tells the truth. Your breathing changes, your muscles tighten, your pulse goes up, your expression shifts for half a second. Even your scent changes under stress. You may not notice any of it consciously, but your dog can. That is why dogs can seem almost eerie around certain people. When you feel uncomfortable, even slightly, your dog often senses it before you say a word. They connect your tension to the person standing in front of you. So when your dog suddenly becomes protective, watchful, or unusually alert around someone you are not sure about, do not brush that off too quickly. Your dog may be responding to a warning your own body already detected. 3. Dogs stop trusting people who prove unreliable. This part is backed by one of the most talked about studies in this area. In a 2015 study led by researcher Akiko Takioka at Kyoto University, dogs followed a human pointing gesture toward food. Then they were misled toward an empty container. After that, many of the dogs became less willing to follow the same person's pointing again. That matters because it shows dogs are not blindly obedient. They track reliability. If a person gives bad information, the dog updates its judgment. In real life, this can show up as sudden hesitation around someone who seems inconsistent, a person who acts one way, then another, a person who signals stop feeling trustworthy. Dogs may not understand lying in a human moral sense, but they clearly notice when a person becomes unreliable. 4. Dogs pay attention to how people treat you. This may be the closest thing science has to the classic idea that dogs know when someone is bad news. In another Kyoto University study, dogs watch social interactions involving their owners. When a person refused to help the owner, dogs later showed less willingness to accept food from that person. Not because the person harmed the dog directly, but because the dog had seen how they behaved towards someone important. Think about how powerful that is. Your dog is not just asking, "Is this person nice to me?" Your dog may also be asking, "How do they treat my human?" That helps explain why some dogs immediately dislike someone rude, dismissive, or cold toward their owner, even when that person is trying to act friendly on the surface. Dogs appear to form social impressions from what they observe, and if that sounds impressive, what comes next is even harder to fake, because people can control their words, but not their face forever. 5. Dogs can read emotional leakage in the face. Research from the Clever Dog Lab in Vienna found that dogs could distinguish between certain human facial expressions, especially happy and angry ones, even with faces they had never seen before. That suggests your dog is reading more than eye contact or attention. They may be noticing tension around the eyes, the shape of the mouth, or the tiny visual cues that reveal irritation, anger, or unease, which helps explain a scene many owners have seen before. A person walks in smiling, saying all the right things, but your dog stays stiff, distant, or suspicious. Why? because smiles can be performed. Faces still leak emotion. Dogs seem unusually good at noticing that leak. So even when a person's voice sounds warm, your dog may be reacting to what their expression is giving away. 6. Dogs can smell stress, fear, and agitation. This is where the whole topic starts to feel almost supernatural. Dogs do not literally smell evil, and science does not claim that. But dogs can detect changes in human body chemistry linked to fear, stress, and emotional arousal. Humans have around 5 to 6 million scent receptors. Dogs can have up to around 300 million. Their world is saturated with chemical information we never experience. When someone is nervous, angry, unstable, or trying hard to hide it, their body may still release cues a dog can detect. Researchers studying human emotional odors have found that dogs respond differently to stress-related and fear-related scent cues. That does not mean every anxious person is dangerous, but it does mean your dog may sense that a person is emotionally off balance before you can explain why they feel wrong. So if someone seems perfectly calm and your dog still keeps staring, backing away, or growling, your dog may be reacting to chemistry your eyes cannot read. But here's what makes dogs seem almost psychic. They're not relying on one sense. They're building a full picture in seconds. 7. Dogs combine all of these signals at once. This may be the biggest reason their reactions can feel so accurate. Your dog is not making a judgment from just one clue, not just posture, not just scent, not just your tension. They are stacking information. A person's walk feels off. Their shoulders are tense. Their smile looks forced. Their scent carries stress. You become slightly uneasy around them. Maybe they were cold toward you in a small social moment. None of those clues alone proves anything. But together, to a dog, that pattern can be enough. And dogs do this fast. Faster than conscious human reasoning. That is why they can seem to instantly love one person and distrust another. They are not overthinking, they are integrating, which leads to the real answer behind the title. 8. Dogs don't detect bad people. They detect bad signals. This is the part where science becomes more interesting than myth. Dogs are probably not making moral judgments in the human sense. They are not scanning souls. And a negative reaction can sometimes come from past trauma, poor socialization, unusual clothing, or a bad previous experience. But the evidence strongly suggests dogs can detect many of the exact things humans later associate with a bad person: unreliability, hostility, emotional instability, threatening posture, negative social behavior, and stress chemistry that does not match the act. And in real life, danger rarely arrives with a label. It usually shows up as small inconsistencies: a warm voice with a tense body, a smile that never reaches the eyes, a person who acts polite when watched but behaves differently when it matters, a stranger who makes your body tense before your brain catches up. Your dog may catch those details first, so the next time your dog stiffens at the door, avoid someone everyone else seems to trust, or gives a low warning growl for no obvious reason. Do not jump straight to superstition, but do not ignore it either. Watch more closely, listen longer, pay attention to the mismatch. Because your dog may not be telling you that someone is magically evil, your dog may be telling you that something is off, and sometimes that is exactly the warning you need.